Hello, thank you for your engagement once again. This video is really special to me because this is going to be for all the women out there. Men, if you clicked on this, hello, feel free to listen into and send this to all the women that you love, because this is for women all over the world. And what I'm about to say is going to be very difficult to digest. So I'll say grab a tea. You might want to sit down for this one. It's been really hard for me to digest this too. And I'm once again talking to my husband. So it helps me feel like I'm having a conversation with someone. But we're just going to have a conversation today. And if you clicked on this video, you already know the title. It's Women, We Are Killing Ourselves. That is really hard to digest, but we are. And I know, because I've heard when I've talked to people, I know what some people are thinking. They're like, well, we all die of something, and well, we all are slowly dying, which is true. The moment that we popped into this world, yes, we were all reaching towards death's door. But my question for you today is, just because we're all approaching death's door, does that might make life any less valuable? Does that make life any less worthy of living? And is the value of the life that you're living worth less because of said's life inevitable end? And I say this because I think for many of us, we often forget that one of the tools of life is longevity enough to be able to pass down knowledge to future generations and to engage in future generations. And in order to do so, one must value the life that they are living. And if we cannot practice this, and if we cannot see ourselves as valuable contributors to the world, then what is the meaning? What is the purpose in general? And I say all this to say that we're going to have a conversation about the many, many ways that, and this applies to not just women too, this also applies to men, but I think more specifically in the society that we have fostered over the millenniums, that this is more ever so predominant among women. So that's why I'm focusing on women, but it can apply to both. But the many ways that we are slowly killing ourselves, either unknowingly or knowingly. And I'm going to start off with chemicals. Because we live in a world today where the chemicalization of our common goods has become the norm when it shouldn't. There used to be a time where when chemicals were present in something, we were given all kind of safety guidelines to wear gloves. Don't get it in your eye. Don't get it over here. Don't touch it with your hands. If it gets on your body part, go rinse it off. And that is just not the same. That's not the same tone we get anymore. It's almost normalized that, oh yeah, chemicals are in everything. They're everywhere. When that shouldn't be the reality. Because our bodies, from our skin, from our head to our toes, are living, breathing organisms. The human's functionality depends on these organisms. So anything we expose our organisms to is a threat to us. And that comes with anywhere on our bodies. And so, and anything that we touch, anything that we breathe in, anything that our five senses encounter are also part of that. So to say that, oh, chemicals are just everywhere is to live a life of complacency, and it's almost like we've become apathetic to the threats around us. And we shouldn't, because chemicals should not be the basis of everything and should not be normalized. And I want to take a moment to specifically focus on the chemicals that women interact with on a daily basis, because I realize over my lifetime that we interact with so many chemicals. Ladies, for a second, let's talk. Hi, ladies. Let's talk about beauty for a second. Let's talk about all of our quote unquote maintenance Olympics that we go through and the chemicals that we expose our body to. I'm going to start from head to toe. So let's start with the head, right? Let's start from the hair. And I'm coming from you. I feel you. Listen, I am feeling you as I'm talking to you right now. I feel you. I come from a place where I've tried every hairstyle. When I say I've tried every hairstyle, I've been blonde, purple, red, brown, short, long, wig, sew-in, clip-ins, every hairstyle you can think of, perm, bleach, fried, dyed, laid to the side, I have done it. And when I sit back and think about all the chemicals I have exposed my body to and normalized, from keratin treatments to perms, I am astonished. Because the top of your head is there's a reason why they call it your crown. And it's such a huge receptor. I call a lot of parts of our body our receptors, our hands, our feet, our mouth, our eyes, our head, because it's directly connected to your brain. And the brain is the center of your body. Like it's like the control tower of your body. And the chemicals, knowingly and unknowingly, that are in those things are ultimately not worth it. Like I said in my previous video, I was told by a wonderful, wonderful woman named Madison one day that, Ricky, I've come to realize that if women woke up one day and we were all happy with ourselves, legitimately happy with ourselves, we could destroy industries. And there is $1 trillion, probably, I don't even know what the word is after $1 trillion industry, that is the beauty industry, telling you that you need these things. And painting it as, just feel good today. CoverGirl, Maybelline, all of these brands just telling you, oh, just feel beautiful, without asking yourself, what about your natural self makes you feel unbeautiful? And what makes you feel like you need these things? I want to talk about hair and the chemicals. If you're dyeing your hair, keratin, straightening your hair, curling your hair, perms for other ethnicities out there, like the perm is to curl your hair, the relaxer is to straighten your hair. All of those things that you're doing, your body is ingesting that every time. And some of those chemicals will stay in your body lifelong. And some of those chemicals are linked to cancer, which we've normalized. Cancer should not be normalized, y'all. It is not normal. We shouldn't be looking for cancer vaccinations. We should be eradicating the things that we consume that cause cancer instead of vaccinating for cancer. And these chemicals lead to that. There was a movie I watched, and it really broke things down to me, because I used to be a conveyor of all hairstyles, including wigs. And sometimes I would find myself feeling like weird wearing a wig, because I would question, I wonder who the woman was that had this hair. Where did this hair come from? Was it many women, single women? And there's an indigenous science, which I'll put it on the screen if I can. I don't know what I'm putting this voiceover to, but it's going to be to something, maybe me making a sim, I don't know. But there was a movie I watched, and it talked about, it was supposed to be like a horror film, but it talked about hair. And in indigenous science, many of them believe that hair has an essence of the being still attached to it. That's why many people choose not to cut their hair. If they do cut their hair, They make sure that they burn their hair or they dispose of it properly because they believe that hair still has the essence of the being, still has the memories, the dreams, it still houses that being. And so I personally myself can no longer look at a wig or extensions anymore because I'm always asking myself, where did this hair come from? And even learning about the unjust practices of hair, where many women are forced to give up their hair, or they're in environments where they have to sell their hair for money and different things like that. I was like, I cannot put this on my sensory, on my head, without knowing whom it came from and without feeling the weight and the burden of having that person's being on my head. And so I want us to be more purposeful about these normalizations that we've come to question. And I'm supposed to talk about wigs in part 3. There's supposed to be 3 parts of this. Chemicals. It's supposed to be chemicals, faux products, that's FAUX, and then it's also supposed to be plastics, but it's become a combined conversation at this point. And I didn't write a full out script because I really wanted this to come from a place of like heart, but I want us to be more purposeful about all of our practice and ask ourselves why. For women out there, if you are looking in the mirror and you feel like you need something, ask yourself why. And I would challenge everyone to take all of it off. Girl, take it all off. Take as much as you can off. Take the lashes, take the hair, take the makeup, take the extensions, take this, take everything off, and look at yourself in the mirror in your most natural state and give yourself a hug. And do this every day and see how you feel. And also detoxify, but I'll come to that in a second. So that's chemicals. Everything has a chemical. So I would say be very careful about the chemicals that you let into your organs and into your receptors in your systems. The next big thing that we surround ourselves with is plastic. And I was astounded by the amount of things that are made from plastics. Braiding hair is made from plastics. I was astounded. Nails, extensions are made from plastic. And when you glue that to the surface of your nail, not only does the glue have chemicals, but you're gluing plastic to the surface of your receptor, to your sensor, to your organ. So that's like, and this is going to be really harsh imagery, but that's like going inside your intestine and gluing a piece of acrylic to that. Because every part of our body is not aesthetic. Every part of our body has a function. We have turned it into aesthetics, unfortunately, but everything on our body has a function. And whenever we cover that said thing up, or whenever we introduce chemicals to that said thing, said part of our body, we disrupt its function. And so plastic being part of our everyday routine should not be normalized. And I'm going to burst your bubbles. Ladies at the nail shops, ladies doing at-home nails, all of that is part of it. Whether you're doing press-ons, acrylics, dip, powder, gel X, it's all plastic. It's all the same harsh chemicals. It's all the same thing. If someone's telling you, oh, this is an organic nail, non-toxic nail, they're lies. It's lies. Even I'm sitting here today with polish on your nails. Unless you purposely handcraft your own polish, there is toxic chemicals in the polish. So just be mindful of those things. I would say the least toxic thing you could do is polish your nails, because at least you're able to take it off in the most non-invasive way. But we've normalized using toxic things to make us feel good, when over time those things are not, we're not going to feel good. And the third thing I want to talk about is faux, and it'll be like a combination of all of this. FAUX. We have normalized fakeness, and we have normalized it in a way to where it's being seen as real, and we've ingrained our psyche to think that fake things such as plastic surgery, such as fake hair, fake nails, fake lashes are how humans normally look, or how women are supposed to look normally, naturally. Natural beauty are the naturalization of beauty has become faux. Plastic surgery is normalized. Plastic surgery was crafted not for beauty, but to help people who lost limbs, to help people who were born with cleft lips, to help people who were born with who needed modifications because they were genetically born with any of the things I just named. But we've normalized getting Botox and lip injections like it's a natural, normal thing to do when it's not. You are injecting chemicals into your body, and we wonder why the life expectancies of humans is deteriorating and why the rich people are running around trying to figure out how to live forever. It's because they cannot stop injecting chemicals in their body. And they feel it. And we feel it. But instead of addressing the chemicals, we're looking for more chemicals to fix the deterioration of the very chemicals. So is it, we all gotta die from something? Or are you so scared to give up the chemicals that you'll look for any other way to cling to a falsehood of longevity? And I think this is a hard discussion to have. I'm gonna tell you, it was hard for me. And I'm still going through it every day. But it's a conversation worth having because I thought about it and I'm like, we're constantly talking about a better future. But what better is a future if we pass down our insecurities and our trauma down to the next generation? If we're telling little girls that you need this to feel beautiful when you don't, what are we creating? And millennials and older people are talking about, the girls look older and everybody looks so fake. I wonder where that came from. And I wonder where it's going. The fact that little young girls feel like they have to grow up fast and they have to have the same face and get Botox. Like there's people getting Botox in their teens. Young people are getting Botox to look younger when they're already young. And I think that this has become a serious issue. And we all have to sit down and ask ourselves, are we justifying our wants into needs to compensate for our own insecurities? Just to keep up with everyone around us who is doing the exact same thing? And if we all are on the wheel and recognize it, when are we all getting off? Because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get more expensive. It's only going to lead us all into more debt, into death. So when do we get off? When do we stop? When do we say enough is enough? Is it when 50% of the population has cancer or 85%? Is it when 60% of women are getting plastic surgery? Or is it when our babies start getting plastic surgery to fit into the aesthetic? Our bodies are not aesthetic. Our bodies are breathing, living, functioning organs. And you are enough just who you are. Nothing extra, no extensions, no elaboration. And ask yourself how you can lovingly treat your body and meet yourself where you are and eliminate as many chemicals as you can. And I'm not going to say like quick cold turkey, but start somewhere. Me, I started with my hair. I started putting chemicals in my hair. And then I become to love my hair where it was and where it is today, and to accept that I don't like doing hair. So what hairstyle can I wear and when I don't like doing hair? And then I'm done with the nail shop because I found about all those chemicals. And while this was going on, I was also taking out processed chemicals that I was ingesting in my food. And so from there, it becomes a domino effect. But if you don't start somewhere, you'll never escape the cyclical, toxic practices that have you on that wheel. And in order for us all to break the wheel, it takes more than one of us to have the willpower to say enough is enough. And that's where I'll leave you. I'll come back with more insights, and thank you for tuning in, and subscribe if you made it this far, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye.